Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be with you today. My name is Judy Tuttle. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I have three beautiful cards to stamp with you today using the Spotlight on Nature bundle. It's currently unavailable, but it'll be back soon, and I just know that you're going to love what I have to show you. So I'm so excited about that. Before we get started, I'm gonna wait just a minute to see who all is gonna come in here, pop in here. When you come in, please let me know that you're here so that I can say hi to you. Okay, there we go. I had a weird screen popping up and I wasn't sure what that was all about. So I know that you guys can tell when I'm flustered because I'm kind of all over the place when that happens. So welcome to my stamping room. We are trying to get it more organized. I had a friend, Becky, here with me this weekend. She's my good friend from Nebraska. She got to come for the weekend. And last night she was like, we need to help you organize your cards and stuff. So, anyway, it was kind of a mess, but it was a great start to getting things put in the right places. So, anyway. I have had the morning to kind of get myself ready for this video today and do some other things. So I'm going to go ahead and move you guys down to my hands here and talk about a few things that I have coming up. Again, if you're on, let me know you're here. Talk to me. I love having conversations with everyone once they get on. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining me. I love having you here. Okay, so here's some things I have coming up. My next online class, I shouldn't call it an online class, my next class, either in person or to go, I will be using the Inspiring Snapdragons bundle. This is a beautiful bundle that is in the annual catalog. It is currently available for purchase. It is not on back order. These dies are just gorgeous. You get some stems, you get some outlines, you get some details that all coordinate with this stamp set here. And what I love most about this bundle is the words, so sorry, wishing you strength, inspired by you, big, bold fonts with beautiful mixed fonts and textures to them. Hi, Cindy. I saw that you just signed up for this class. So thanks, Cindy, for joining my Inspiring Snapdragons class. Anyway, I will be using this bundle. And I want to tell you right now that this bundle is on sale. So if you would like to be a part of this class, this is a good time to register because you can get the bundle on sale if you don't already have it. Okay, now I'm going to show you one of the cards I made using this bundle. This was for a swap that I was recently in. Thank you for sharing my video. And isn't that beautiful? I use those everyday detailed dies, lots of texture on this card, lots of color, which is what I love. So I hope that inspires you to register for my next class. You can come either in person on July the 11th, or you can get the class to go. I provide you all the pieces you need and a full color PDF. So next, I had bingo night Friday night, and I thought you guys might like to see kind of what my bingo people get, whether they join me Zoom or in person. Okay, so this was the full color PDF that they received. All the measurements, all the instructions, although I did all of that for them. So they get that. And then they get 2 bingo cards with their registration. So that's in there. They get not 2 packages of them. There's that missing package of embellishments I've been looking for. They get a package of embellishments. They got a package of linen thread. They got a whole stack of glimmer paper cut 6x6 and assorted brights 6x6 pack of designer series paper. They got a little gift of a fun pin. I always try to get a little gift that kind of matches the theme of the evening. So this time they got these pins. Everybody got a different flower on the end of their pins. And then it's packaged for them all the cards that we make after bingo, already cut and prepped and ready for them to go. So if you've ever thought about joining my bingo in the future, I just wanted you to see what I offer my customers. Bingo night was $37.50. I gave away $225 worth of bingo prizes, and we had tons of fun. The cards are beautiful, and we all really had a good time. So think about the next bingo will be a couple of months from now. I always do them about every 2 or 3 months. Joining me, they're super fun. Okay, so that's what you get in a package if you were to come to my bingo online. Okay, so I'm going to show you the cards we made in bingo this time. I had a couple of extra kits, so I thought I would show you. So today's online class to go, I'm featuring Spotlight on Nature. And I noticed when I was looking on Pinterest for ideas and scouring my own head that a lot of people have used the new ink colors for the Spotlight on Nature cards, but not many of them have used other color palettes. So I chose to use the Brights collection for my cards, and I really love how they turned out. I'm a little bit more of a bright person, so I think you're going to love the cards. So this is the Spotlight on Nature bundle. I actually got mine at convention in Houston. I love the design of this stamp set. I love these dies. I'm going to get a second set because I just know I'm going to use them in lots of classes and I will need another set of dies. So that's super fun. The bundle is currently unavailable, but the dies are available. So if you'd like to get this class to go, you will need those dies if you don't already have them. And then I'm using this banner right here from the Stylish Shapes dies. If you don't own these, you guys, these are my go-to for every single class I have. So great set of dies. This is what you actually get. I just threw an extra one because I cut 2 at a time there. But these dies have stitched edges. They cut the inside and the outside. Unbelievable value for this, so think about getting those dies as well. Okay, now Spotlight on Nature bundle is on page 69 in the annual catalog, and like I said, it's currently on back order. It came back, it went away, it came back, and now it went away again. So there we go. All right, so this is the bundle I'm going to use. I'm going to use some linen thread with it. And I'm going to use these. They're called Adhesive Back Dots for Days. It has Pool Party, Flirty Flamingo, Daffodil Delight, and a green. I think it's Garden Green. There we go, Garden Green. So those are the dots that we're going to use today as well. Okay, so let's get started. Feel free to ask questions or jump in and give me advice. I'm always okay with that as well. I think I'm going to turn this over so it's a little messy to start with here. So if you want to get this class to go, you're going to need to go to my TuddleUpShop.com and use the new host code. I have a new host code, MXGMV6UP. MXGMV6UP. If you place a $35 or more order, I'll send you a kit for 2 each of the cards that I'm making today. So I want you guys to know that. That is how you get the kit to go. All right, so let me pan in a little bit closer here. There we go, and we can get started. Okay. So, before we start, remember last week I promised somebody would win this punch. This is the new label punch in the new annual catalog, and the person who won it was Linda Verts. So, Linda, I think I have your address, but if you could confirm your address for me, I will send you this lovely label punch in the mail to you this week. Okay. here we go. I'm going to hop right into our card class for today. I'm only going to make one of the cards each with you, but your kit will come with two. So this is my first one. This one I'm using two of the Brights colors. I'm using Lemon Lime Twist and I'm using Flirty Flamingo. I love those colors together and I hope you really love this card. So to make this card, I used a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of Flirty Flamingo cardstock and I scored it at 5 1/2. I have an inside panel that's going to be 4 by 5 1/4. I have 4 strips that are 1 inch by 5 inch. I have one of those banner dies from the Stylish Shapes dies. This is the long, skinnier one, and I cut that out of Lemon Lime Twist. I have a spotlight die. This is a 3 1/4 circle that has that kind of eyelet stitching around the edges. And I have a 4 1/2 inch square that I'm just going to use for stamping and fussy cutting. Okay, so let's start. Let's go ahead and just do the inside, because all I did on the inside is take one of these 4 strips of Designer Series paper and attach it to the inside at the bottom here. Grab my seal. I left a little bit, about a 1/4 to an 1/8 of an inch on the bottom edge. I'm going to trim the excess off here. And then I'm going to adhere this to the inside of my card. So tell me what you did this weekend. I had bingo night Friday night, which was super fun. I watched Creativity Now on Saturday morning. That is a creativity workshop that Stampin' Up! Allows us to be a part of as demonstrators. And then my friends came into town Saturday at about 4, and we had a lovely weekend together. So fun to catch up with old friends, people who know you. They've known us for 34 years. We raised our kids together, went to church together. We were just a big part of each other's lives. So that was such a joy to have my friends Kim and Becky here this weekend. So tell me what you did this weekend. Anything fun? On Thursday of this week, I'm going to start in the middle. And I always kind of try to center my card here in the center. Decide where I'm going to put that first center panel. And it may not be perfectly centered, but it's pretty close there. And so anyway, on Thursday, we are flying to Cedar Rapids. My son and his wife live in Iowa City, which is about 30-45 minutes away from there. And we're going to spend the weekend with them. We haven't seen them since Christmas, so we're really, really excited about that. Okay, so I'm putting 3 strips on the front, right like that. Okay, then I have my Spotlight on Nature die. I'm going to go ahead and just pop this up right here in the center of my card using some dimensionals. So we fly out Thursday afternoon. We come home Monday afternoon. So there will be no Facebook Live on Monday, but I will move it to Tuesday instead. So just know that, and I'll make sure I put that on our, on my Tuttle Up page as well, so that we all know when I'll be here. There will not be a Tuttle Thursday tip. Because we fly out on Thursday from Dallas. So we'll be driving there and flying out from there this afternoon. Super excited to see my son and his wife. I miss them so much. It's so hard to be away from your kids, isn't it? So, okay. So this Lemon Lime Twist banner is just going to go right here across the bottom of that circle right like that. Okay. All right. So next, I'm going to stamp on this 4¼ inch square piece of basic white cardstock. I'm going to grab this large bloom. I just really like the brights. I love our new in colors, but I was just getting really tired of seeing people use that palette for this bundle because there's so many other great things we can do, right? So I'm going to stamp my bloom right there on the side, right like that. Beautiful. And then I'm going to get the word thanks from the Spotlight on Nature stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it right over here to the side. So both of these are going to be fussy cut, and I did grab a little edge, but that's going to get cut off anyway, so it's not going to matter. So I'll be cutting that away around the edge. So let me grab my chamois. Now, I may have the dirtiest chamois in the world, but they still work great to clean my stamps. So when we get together with our friends Kim and Becky, we just love to eat together and reminisce and remember the fun times with our kids when they were young. I'm going to use two blends. I'm get two colors of blends. I'm going to use the light and dark, the lemon lime twist, and I'm going to use the light and dark flirty flamingo for this card. So I'm going to start with my light flirty flamingo, and I'm going to color the entire bloom with the light. There we go. Over here. I know some people always start with the dark. I always start with the light and then add dark and then blend it with the light again. That's just how I learned it, and that's what I do. So you do you, I will do me. So now I'm taking each of these leaves and I'm starting by coloring them with light lemon lime twist. I'm going to do the same thing. I always do the whole thing in light. We all have our own ways. This is mine. Okay, there we go. So I did the light flirty flamingo and then the light lemon lime twist. Maybe I will kind of go this way just a little bit so you can see my... Hi, Mary. Hi, Brenda. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you guys are here. Now I'm going to take my dark and color in just those shading areas at the base of each of these flowers. There we go. And I'm going to take my dark lemon lime twist and just add some shading in on each of these leaves, a little dimension. Then I'm going to flip around to my fine tip, and I'm just going to lightly go over the stems here. Okay. There we go. Beautiful, isn't it? So now comes the fun part. I'm going to fussy cut around both of these things. So I'm going to cut off the thanks real quick. I will come back to that. And we're going to, I'm just going to fussy cut around this flower. And I know there are people who hate to fussy cut. I kind of find it therapeutic and enjoy it. Some of the ladies in my stamp class call it fussy cussing. I thought that was really funny. Fussy cussing. But I don't cuss. I go, la la la, I'm just in my own little world. Fussy cutting my image. Probably should have done one ahead of time, but guess what? You're going to enjoy the process with me here. So I'm just going in to most of these little areas here. So I had 15 people join me for bingo. We played 6 games of bingo. I gave away $225 worth of gift certificates so they could choose whatever they wanted from my online store for those. I pay the shipping. They have to pay the tax and any overage that they incur on the order. And it's just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun. I love giving stuff away. And then we had 3 or 4 prize patrol gifts that went out. And then I always choose one person. I call them the biggest loser. And it's someone who hasn't won anything all night long. So I put all the names in the hat of people who haven't won anything all night long and draw a name out. And that person gets the hostess credit for the workshop that goes in for bingo, which is super fun. So I love that. Brenda was the big winner. I don't know if Brenda's still here or not, but she won. Well, she won twice. They only get to really win once. But if they win a larger prize, they can forfeit the smaller prize to someone else and then take the larger prize instead. So Brenda was the biggest winner. She won the $75 gift certificate. And then my daughter, Kristen Rampton, won. She was the biggest loser. So she got to be the hostess for the party for the night and get all the hostess credit, which is fun. So okay, I'm just going to keep going here. Don't you love those friendships that, I'm back to, I just cut off a stem, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep on going. Okay, I think I can reattach it. So, those friendships that you can just pick up right when you left off. You don't feel like you've been apart for a day. And that was a fun thing to experience with our friends, Kim and Becky. We talked about so many memories of lives, our kids growing up. Our kids were in each other's weddings. They, every holiday, they didn't have family near them either. So we grew close because we became each other's families, right? Holidays, birthdays, recitals, games, all of that were a really important part of our lives together. Okay, so there's my flower. I'm going to attempt to stick this stem back on, but it might not even matter. Okay, there we go. All right, and then I have thanks here. Thanks, Brenda. I love my bingo nights too. They're just so much fun. So my next class, like I said, is at Inspiring Snapdragons. So if you'd like to be a part of that, it's on July 11th in person, or you can get it to go and get all the pieces, the PDF, all of that. Just have to pay shipping to have it shipped to you, but I ship as cheap as I possibly can to get all the pieces and the PDF to you. So think about if the best way to find out about all of my events that I have coming up is to be a part of my weekly newsletter. So consider joining my email list. I'll put a link for that. I'll put a link for the Inspiring Snapdragons class as well. And you can find out all the information about that as well. But every Tuesday I send out a general newsletter with everything that I have coming up, and that is super fun. Best way to find out all the info for sure. Okay, so now I'm going to add some dimensionals. I hope you guys could see me cutting that out. And maybe you don't care, so I don't know. But I'm sorry if I was on camera. I wasn't really paying attention to whether I was on camera or not. So I'm cutting some little pieces and just adding them in some of these spots right here. This is the stem that came off right here. I'm going to see if I can piece that back together in a little bit. Okay, so maybe a tiny little dimensional on that tiny bloom there. And I could get out my minis, but I think I'm just going to cut a piece of my large here. Here we go. Okay, this is going to go right here, and I added it so that top bloom kind of goes off the top edge. Gonna go like that, and this goes off the bottom edge, so that is great. Okay, so now I'm grabbing my thanks, and I'm going to add it right over here to the side. So on this edge, I want to put just, let me go back out again. On this edge, I want to use just flat glue, and on this edge, I want to use a tiny dimensional. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of Seal Plus right there. If it goes over the edge, I just push it back in with my finger and get it all back onto the back side. And then right here, I'm just going to cut a little sliver off the edge of my dimensionals and add that right there where my thanks is. Okay, where the T of my thanks is. So that is going to go right there. We can't even see that I cut a stem off. So there we go. All right, now last thing, or second to the last thing, is I'm going to grab some linen thread. I'm going to pull two pieces, two strips, about 8 to 10 inches, I would guess. And I'm going to tie a single bow. There we go. I did a whole video on bow tying on my Tuttle Tips from about a month ago. So if you go to my YouTube channel or scroll down if you want, I taught people how to tie a perfect bow. You can always watch that on replay. I need some glue dots. Here we go. Add a glue dot and tuck it in right here to the side of that blossom, right like that, and cut these tips off so they're not flailing off the side of the card. And then one last thing is to add some dots, and for this one I chose these Flirty Flamingo. These are called the Adhesive Dots for Days. It's an interesting name. I don't know how they come up with all these names, but and then I'm going to shoot one right up here in this kind of white space right there. So that's card number 1. Do you guys love it? Give me some love if you like it, and we'll move on as I'm cleaning things up here, getting some things out of the way. We will move on to our second card. So I love the second card because it's green, and I love green. Green is one of my favorite colors. So let me put that out of the way. This back over here. Scissors out of the way. All right. Get that sticky note and move this off to the side. All right. So card number 2 is this one right here. I love it. I love the green. This is Granny Apple with Melon Mambo, and it opens sideways like this. So isn't that pretty? I love that card. Okay, so I'm going to put that off to the side. Thank you, guys. Melissa? Yay, you're here too. Okay, so Melissa and Mary didn't get a chance to make these cards in bingo. They had to, well, Mary was going on vacation and Melissa was on vacation and just did the bingo part with me. So it'll be fun that you will have this to refer to when you're putting your cards together. Okay, so I take a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of designer series paper. I don't know if I told you, this was cut 4 1/4 by 11 and scored in the middle at 5 1/2. Maybe I said that, but we're going to turn it sideways with the scored edge here to the left, right? I'm going to add this panel of DSP to the top right here. Grab my Seal Plus, and you can really use either side of this paper. I just liked the stripe for this card, so that is what I used, and I'm going to attach that right here to the front. I have 3 panels that are all cut white panels, and they're all cut 1 3/4 by 3 1/2, 1 3/4 by 3 1/2. So I have 3 of those. And then I have a white panel for the inside of the card that's cut 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to put these off to the side here. All right, I'm going to grab this leaf design and my Granny Apple Green. Love Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to stamp. This is going to be my inside panel. And I'm going to pat, pat, pat on Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to stamp a leaf just coming up from this bottom left corner. You know, always like to put something on the inside that looks like it matches the outside. And then I'm taking the leaf again, and on one of these panels, I'm stamping the leaf right in the center. And then on this panel, I'm doing the same thing. There we go. Isn't that green leaf pretty? I don't know why I love it so much, but I do love it. And then I'm going back to my bloom and my Memento black ink, and I'm going to stamp that middle panel with this bloom. Now, the whole bloom will not fit on the panel, but that's okay. We're just going to try to get that large bloom and this small bloom right here. There we go. That's all I care about, okay? Let me clean these stamps off real quick before I get ink all over me. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and attach this inside panel to the inside of the card. So I'm just going to add some seal to the back. Hey, Mary O, I tried to call you this morning, so I don't know if you're at work or not, but call me whenever you get home today. Let's chat. All right, and then these 2 green panels, one is going to go on this side, and one is going to go on this side, and we're going to kind of adhere them a little cockeyed, okay? A little not straight. So I'm just going to add this one to the left and this one to the right, and I'm purposely not trying to get them very straight, okay, like that. Now I'm going to take my flower, Granny Apple Green, and Melon Mamba is what I'm going to color this one. So I'm going to do very similar to what I did last time. The leaves, I'm going to start with light. There we go. I'm going to add some dimension with dark. There we go. Then I'm going to go back a little bit with the light again. area. So I know a lot of people are experiencing really hot weather that don't usually have it. We always have hot weather in Midland. We're basically the desert here. West Texas. We're about an hour or so from New Mexico. So that's how far west in Texas we are. And about 4 hours north of Big Bend National Park, which is right on the border between Texas and Mexico. It's always warm here, warm and dusty. But I love warm and dusty. I love warm. I can't say I love dusty, but I do love warm. Winter time, I'm miserable. When I lived in Nebraska, I was always cold, always cold. So I don't mind. Isn't that pretty? Can you guys see that? Oh, sorry. Let me get it back in. Isn't that pretty? So this then is going to get attached. Thank you, Sue. Hi, Sue. Glad you're here. Guess where I'm going on Thursday? Iowa. I'm going to, oh, look what I just did. Darn it. Do I have my magic eraser handy here? Let me see. So I do have an adhesive eraser here. It's called Mono Sand Eraser, and I'm going to try to erase part of that ink. It doesn't always get all of it, but it does lighten it up quite a bit. I had already put the seal on the back of that when I noticed. So let's rip this off my grid paper. And something you got to learn when you're doing lives is, you're live. And live is live. It's always tricky. Okay, so how about I put this on here first? There we go. And then I try to lighten up that smudge I just put from my finger somehow. That did pretty good. Okay, that worked wonders there. I knew you were, you were in Iowa City. What were you doing to find Caitlin Clark shirt? Oh, Caitlin Clark is the bomb, isn't she? That's so much fun. Glad you got to do that. There's a Shields there. Did you go to Shields? I wonder if they would have had one there. Okay, so I have a piece of Melon Mamba. It's a banner, 3/4 of an inch by 3.5 inch. I have a piece of that same DSP, but I think we're going to use the flower side, and it's cut 1/4 by 3. And then I have a basic white that's 1/2 by 3. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have to grab my fine tip pin here, and I am going to just add a little glue to the back side of this. I'm going to put it down right there. About 1/2 inch off the left edge, okay, right like that. And then I'm going to take this white banner, and I have the stamp that says Dear Friend. I'm going to grab my Melon Mamba ink, and I'm going to stamp Dear Friend. Oh, good. What's the name of that shop? If you don't mind telling me, because I'm going. We will definitely go to Shields because I got Jim a gift card to there for Father's Day. It's one of our favorite stores. So now I'm going to add this to this banner. I'm going to cut a tiny tip of this off because I want a little more of that green showing off the edge right there. Kind of like that, okay? So I'm going to add some dimensionals the back of this Melon Mamba banner. How about 3 of them? But you know what? Before I put that down, I need to do something. So I'm going to add that wax paper back on top. I need to add a little bit of linen thread onto this. So I'm grabbing that linen thread, and I did the faux bow technique. So I'm rolling this around my fingers several times, 3 times to be exact. Here we go. Cutting it off. And then I like to hold it, twist it in the middle, And then we're just going to attach it right here next to this flower. Fanatic's Choice. Oh, fun. Okay, well, I'll have to check that out. Check that out. I'm excited to do all my fun shopping in Iowa City that I don't have in Midland anymore. So we don't have a Shields and we don't have a Von Mar. I'm excited about Von Mar. Do you guys have Von Mars where you live? It's a department store, kind of old school, which I love. I love their stuff. They have a home department. They have women's, all the things, men's, women's. They always have a pianist in the lobby playing the piano. And what I love about Von Mar is they will ship to anywhere for free. They will gift wrap and ship for free. Like, who does that anymore? So it's an awesome department store. So I could actually buy things there and they would ship it here to Midland for free. It's just one of the services they offer. Okay. So now my banner that says, "Dear friend." Ah, you do have one in Ann Arbor. Fun. Isn't it the best? I just love Von Mar. I just always feel special when I'm in there. I don't know why. Of course, we have restaurants we love and all of that. And my son and I and my husband are all movie fanatics too. So we always like to go to the movies when we're together. And they have a place there that's a movie theater, a bowling alley, and a restaurant all in one. So I'm hoping we can see that new Kevin Costner movie called The Horizon. It's the first of a 4-part movie series. And I think it's going to be a beautiful film. It's been years in the making. So have you guys heard about that? The Horizon. I think that's what it's called, The Horizon. So in my boredom here in my craft room, not boredom because I love my craft room. Are you kidding me? But in my time alone, I should say, I like to watch Jenna and Hoda in the morning. It's where I get all my pop culture news, and away from the news, which I don't really like to watch the news. It makes me sad. So, anyway, they were interviewing a lot of the stars from the movie, including Kevin Costner, and that's how I heard about it. So I'm excited to see it. So here's card number 2, the green card. I'm calling it Dear Friend, and you've got that leaf in the inside. Do you guys love that one? Give me some love if you love it. Let me know that you're out there and you're loving what I'm doing. And I have one more card to stamp with you. I wonder, do you guys feel like I talk more now that this is my full-time job? I think sometimes I just don't get to talk very often to people. So I talk more when I'm on here because I feel like I'm having a conversation with you guys. Okay, so I'm going to put some things away. I don't need those anymore. This card I designed from top to bottom, color, scheme, design, everything. You know, a lot of times I'll get inspiration from our demonstrator planning place, which is a demonstrator Facebook group where people share their ideas and then I tweak them to make them my own. But this one, I just kind of created out of my own head. So I hope you love it, okay? So I'll show you how this goes. This opens like this. That's the inside. And then this actually, this front large circle kind of tucks in to the medium-sized circle. And that's the front of the card. Isn't that fun? I love that. I love it. So it just tucks underneath there, and then that's what keeps the whole card closed up. So I love it. Okay, so I didn't invent the fold or anything, just the design on the front of the card. So here we go. Inside of the card, we're going to start there. We have a piece of designer series paper that is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm using this design. I don't know what to call it. It's the opposite side of the polka dots. You could really use either. I'm using this one. It's just what I chose. I didn't put a lot of thought into it. I just thought that's what I want to use. And then I have a white panel that is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. And Azure Afternoon is the color of the DSP and the color of the ink that I'm going to use right now. And what I did along that bottom edge is I stamped the leaves about halfway up, and then I stamped it again. I moved it right over one more time like that. And so you get a little shadow right there. Then I'm going to do that again right here. And then I'm going to stamp it off once right here. And then I'm going to do it one more time right on this edge right here. Well, we missed you, Sue, at bingo. Sue always comes to bingo, but she couldn't come this time because she was traveling. We missed you. We had a fun evening. And now I'm picking up my Daffodil Delight ink, and I'm going to take the butterfly and I'm going to stamp it right here in the top right corner. So that butterfly's just flying over those leaves like that. Now I'm going to adhere this panel to this panel right there in the center, and then I will add it to the inside of my card. Hi, Judy. Glad to have you. I know, I heard you guys are hot. So the hot that you have is hot. So what we don't have in Midland, I was just talking about the heat, is that we don't have any humidity here. It is very dry. So I actually think in Lincoln we had a lot of humidity. It feels less hot here than it did with all that humidity. I can't handle the humidity. Okay, so I'm talking. This is a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of Azure Afternoon cardstock, and I scored it at 2 3/4 and 8 1/4. 2 3/4 and 8 1/4. Okay, I'm going to use my bone folder, get a really good fold on those edges. Open this up, and this panel is going to go on the inside right here. There we go. How do you like that? All right, so now I'm going to decorate my outside panels. And actually, this goes pretty fast. I love cards that look like you had to put a lot of time into them and you don't. Okay, so this 2 white panels that are 2 1/2 by 4. You need 2 of them, 1 for each side. And then I have 2 DSP panels that are like 1/8 of an inch smaller than the white one. So it's 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. All right. And I'm going to adhere those 2 together. And this time I'm going to use that liquid glue because I want to be able to have some wiggle room, right? We've talked about that. So anytime I have a really skinny edge on something, I want to use my liquid glue because I want to be able to wiggle it around and get it. And this is a very tight little border here on these panels, right? Like that. It just needed some white underneath it to help it pop a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on this one. Make sure I get my corners good. There we go. And I'm going to add that to that white panel there. Good. That actually went better on camera than it did when I did my original card. Okay, now I'm going to add these panels to the sides here of each of these. Again, I'm going to use liquid glue so I have a little wiggle room so I can get them on straight. So this one is going to go on this side. There we go. And this one is going to go on this other side. Right there. So that creates that gatefold. Okay? All right. Now, I have 3 spotlight circles. Hi, Dana Windling. Thanks for joining me. I've missed having you here. Okay, I have 3 spotlight circles, and I just threw that sticky note there. The largest one is 2 3/8 in diameter, and it has those radiating stitches right there. And then I have one that's 2 1/4 inches in diameter and has the radiating stitches. And then I cut one out of our white glimmer paper. Can you see the glimmer on that? I'm sorry, I'm probably there we go. It has glitter to it, and it's a 1-inch circle, and all 3 of these have those radiating dies around the edges. Okay, so I'm going to do my stamping, and then I'll do my adhering. I'm going back to that Azure Afternoon. I do like it as well, Sue. All the 6x6. So obviously I bought them in all the colors because I love them. I love using these 6x6 paper packs. And then, so I did what I did on the inside. I stamped full strength and stamped off once. Now I'm going to stamp off once again, but I'm going to stamp off on my grid paper and then add the shadow to this other side right there. Okay. So that is that circle. And this one I'm going to attach right here on this left panel, but it's going to overhang here about that much. So I don't want glue right there or else it'll stick to the other side. So I'm just focusing on adding some adhesive right to that side right there. About I just do halfway just to be sure I don't go too far. And I'm overlapping this center mark where these 2 panels come together. I'm overlapping just a bit. Okay, right like that. So now that will open just fine. Okay, then I'm taking the middle-sized circle and I'm going to stamp my butterfly again on that. So this is my 3rd card, you guys. So if you're just popping in, that's fine. Just know that you've missed the first 2. So I would love it if you would go back and rewatch. And I want you to know I always upload my videos to YouTube almost immediately. And I could really use some more subscribers over there because I would like to be able to stream this in both places at the same time. So I don't have to do that every time. So if you could go subscribe to my Tuttle Up Stamping YouTube. Okay, I got to be careful. What am I doing here, Judes? Okay, I'm going to attach. I'm going to pop this up, but you don't want adhesive right here or else you will attach it to that leafy thing, and we don't want to do that, right? So I'm going to go right like that, kind of overlap it, but you don't want to adhere to it. There we go. So that's going to tuck underneath right like that. Then we're taking this glimmer circle. It has the shine to it. And I'm going to add some Seal Plus, or you could add liquid glue, whichever you want. And I'm just going to tuck it under both of those, right like that. But when it opens, it'll only be on one side. Okay, there we go. Now, almost done. Just need to add some linen thread, and I almost always use 2 pieces at once. Hi, Chelsea, you're here. You come in late, you come in and replay, but if you let me know you're here, I'm always happy about that. So thank you so much for letting me know that you are here, and you can always watch replay right after I'm done. So I'm making the 3 of the 4 cards that we made in bingo night. And this time, if you place a $35 order in my store, I will send you the kit. But I'll also send you a paper PDF, which I don't always do, but I have it because of bingo night. So I can add that. If you spend more than $50, I will also add the adhesive dots to your order as well. I always give a little extra something if it's more than $50. So my glue dots are currently hiding from me. See if I can find them over here. Oh, here they are, right here in front of me. I'm going to add a glue dot to this linen thread, And then I'm going to add some adhesive, backed dots for days, and we will be done with all 3 of our cards. I hope you love them. It seems like my ladies who came to bingo loved them, and we had a lot of fun making them together. So I'm going to add a blue dot here. It's not exactly the same blue, but you know, it coordinates great. This is Pool Party. I'm going to add one over here. I'm going to add one right up here. I think maybe I had it a little bit lower. Maybe I didn't. Like that. All right. So thank you, Melissa. That warms my heart that you said that. Okay. So do you guys love this? So I love how it opens and that you get that beautiful scene of the leaves and the butterflies inside as well. So tuck that under, and that's how it will be sent in the mail. So let me pull out all the cards for us here. We made this one. Your kit will include everything, so you can make 6 cards just like these. Go to my Tuttle Up shop. Aren't they pretty? I love bright colors. They just make me happy. And go to my Tuttle Up shop. Use host code MXGMV. I'm sorry, I'm going to say that again. MXGMV6UP. And you can get the kit to make all 6 of these cards. Now, I cannot stamp for you. And I do as much die cutting as I can, but I'm not allowed to stamp images for you. So I hope you enjoyed this today. I'm going to take off that shop information and host code information. I'm going to switch back to me. And I'm always so grateful, you guys. Like, I'm going to remind you, next Monday, I won't be here on Monday. I'll be here on Tuesday because I'll be traveling back from Iowa City. And there'll be no Tuttle Thursday tip this week because I will be on vacation in Iowa City. So God bless. Go shine your light, give your cards away, and make people's days happy. So I'm always so humbled and grateful that you're here with me. And think about going to my YouTube channel and subscribing to me. I'd really appreciate that. So have a beautiful day, hot or cold. We're here for a reason to do good in this world. So enjoy your day. Bye-bye.